So in response to my video about how we are now the most energy secure ever in our history, this person wants to know how much can be attributed to Biden and Trump. I honestly wouldn't attribute any of it to either of them because Donald Trump and Joe Biden have done everything they can to politicize energy in this country as much as possible. The reason we are now more energy secure than ever, the reason that we're producing more renewable energy than ever, more oil than ever, more natural gas than ever, the reason we don't even really need a strategic reserve anymore because we are so energy secure now is due to bipartisan legislation passed by George Bush and amended and further passed by Barack Obama. George Bush's Energy Policy Act of 2005 was the first major energy policy this country had had in over a decade. And it was very broad. It applied to every form of energy, and it also had a big focus on energy efficiency. If you're old enough to remember when energy efficiency became a huge thing, energy efficient appliances and windows and just all the things having the energy efficiency stamps on it, that was because of that. Because one thing we recognized way back then was half the battle of becoming energy secure and energy independent was reducing our rate of consumption. The growth rate of consumption was going to get out of control, and conserving energy is just as good as producing more energy. A lot of prominent Republicans and Democrats both didn't like it. Like John McCain voted against it. Some prominent Democrats voted against it. But it added growth to renewable energy. It added growth to nuclear energy. It added growth to energy efficiency. It added growth to oil and gas production. And it was all done through, tax incentives for all of those different areas of the total energy sector. And it was passed with broad bipartisan support. I think the first bill had 80-something yes votes in the Senate. Like Republicans and Democrats both passed it broadly. And then it was amended in the American Recovery and Reinvestment Act passed under Barack Obama during the Great Recession. And it was further strengthened under that. And I think it's a perfect example of a time when Republicans and Democrats work together to get shit done for the American people. The reason we are where we are today with our energy security is because that time existed. If we had been as divided now, if politics was a sport back then, the way it is now, we would be totally fucked when it comes to energy security. And that was 20 years ago. So what is this country going to look like 20 years from now after years of division and politicians not working together because all they care about is one-upping each other and staying in office and not actually doing anything good for the American people? If not for that legislation, you have to understand the demand for energy in the country today would be significantly higher than it is right now. Because energy efficiency in itself has done more to bring us closer to energy independence and having the security than just increasing the amount of energy we produce. So I wouldn't credit either Donald Trump or Joe Biden for any of this. I would put the credit where it belongs. I would put it squarely with George Bush, and then it was reinforced and made even stronger under Barack Obama. And two Congresses that had bipartisan support. That's how we got here. Thanks.